Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kim Zolciak reveals final straw in Kroy Biermann breakup. Shocking daughter Ariana. Kim Zolciak has never been one to stay quiet when life throws her into the center of a storm. But when the Bravo alum finally sat down to reveal the true final straw that pushed her and Kroy Biermann to the point of no return, even her daughter Ariana was caught off guard. What unfolded was a raw, unexpectedly emotional unraveling of a marriage that once looked unbreakable from the outside but had clearly been crumbling long before the headlines. For years, Kim and Kroy built an image of a fairy tale partnership. The former Real Housewives star and the devoted NFL player who welcomed a blended brood, supported each other's dreams, and invited viewers into a glamorous life where the drama seemed fun, scripted, and always manageable. But behind the designer handbags, the filtered family photos, and the famous "Don't Be Tardy" brand was pressure that kept mounting. Financial troubles, rumored clashes over parenting, and a mounting sense of disconnection quietly ate away at what once made them inseparable. According to Kim, the moment she realized the marriage was truly broken didn't happen during one of the public confrontations, nor during the bankruptcy filings or the foreclosure scares. It happened late one night in their Georgia home, long after the kids were in bed, when Kim says she finally saw Kroy in a way she had never seen him before. She describes it as a moment of chilling clarity. "I walked into the kitchen," she said, "and he was sitting at the table, head in his hands, surrounded by bills. There was this quiet, heavy silence. The kind where you know something has snapped. I asked him what we were going to do, and instead of answering, he pushed me away emotionally in a way he never had." According to Kim, his tone, his distance, even the look in his eyes told her something had shifted beyond repair. They were no longer a team navigating chaos together. They were two people sinking separately. Ariana, who was sitting beside her mother during the interview, visibly stiffened at this revelation. For years, she defended the marriage publicly and privately, insisting her parents were just going through a rough patch. But hearing her mom describe that night seemed to shake something loose. Kim went on to explain that Kroy's retreat from her emotionally wasn't the only issue. She felt increasingly blamed for every problem. The finances, the stress, the negative headlines, the pressure of holding the family together. Meanwhile, Kroy felt Kim had stopped listening, stopped grounding their home life, and was too focused on rebuilding her career. Their disagreements escalated from whispers to arguments, and the couple found themselves living in the same house but emotionally worlds apart. But the final straw wasn't merely the argument that followed. It was the realization that they were hurting their kids more by trying to hold on than letting go. Kim says she found one of the younger children crying quietly upstairs after another tense exchange. When she asked what was wrong, the child said they couldn't sleep because they were afraid Mommy and Daddy were going to yell again. "That broke me," Kim admitted. "I realized we weren't saving anything. We were damaging everything we built." Ariana's eyes widened at that confession. She later admitted she never knew it had reached that point. She had spent most of the chaos working, modeling, and trying to maintain a sense of normalcy on social media, unaware of just how intense things had gotten behind closed doors. "I knew they were fighting," Ariana said, "but I didn't know the younger kids were getting caught in the middle like that. I thought I could keep them distracted enough. Hearing this now, it's just a lot." Kim continued, explaining that the turning point became a painful but necessary moment of clarity. She confronted Kroy the next day, telling him they needed to stop pretending the marriage could be revived through sheer willpower. They needed space, time, and maybe even a full break. Kroy didn't take it well, according to Kim. He insisted they could still work things out if they focused on solutions instead of problems. But Kim says she sensed his heart wasn't in it anymore, and hers was exhausted from carrying the emotional load. The rest unfolded quickly. Lawyers, filings, tense exchanges, paused reconciliations, and brief moments where it seemed they'd patch things up. But the truth, Kim says, is that the marriage had already ended in that quiet, heavy kitchen long before papers were signed. Ariana, who has always been fiercely protective of her mother, admitted she now sees the breakup differently. What once looked like a dramatic impulse from two fiery personalities now feels like the natural end of a bond stretched far past its limits. Still, she wasn't prepared for the shock of knowing just how fragile things had become. "When you're a kid in this kind of family," she said, "you become good at pretending everything is fine. But hearing the real reason the moment it actually broke, I guess I wasn't ready for that." Kim wrapped her arms around her daughter, offering reassurance even as her voice trembled. She said she made mistakes but always tried to do what she thought was best for her family. And while she still cares deeply for Kroy and hopes they can one day co-parent peacefully, she no longer doubts that ending the marriage was the right decision. "I couldn't keep pretending we were the couple people saw on TV," she said. "We weren't those people anymore. Maybe we never were." The revelation is already sending shockwaves through fans who watched the pair build what looked like an unshakable family empire. But for Kim, it's a chapter she says she's finally ready to close. Not with bitterness, but with acceptance. And for Ariana, who left the interview shaken but thoughtful, it's a truth she says she'll need time to process. The woman she once believed held the whole family together was, in reality, breaking quietly behind the scenes. Kim says she's now focusing on rebuilding her life with transparency, even if that means revealing painful chapters she once hid behind glam and humor. "The final straw," she said, "was realizing I needed to choose peace, even if it meant letting go of someone I once thought I'd spend forever with."